Check it out. Check it out.
Man,
Man, check it out.
James Harden is headed to the Los Angeles Clippers in a blockbuster trade. The Clippers, they received James Harden, P.J. Tucker, Philip Petrusev for Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, K.J. Martin, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a pick swap.
All right, so let's look at this trade from both sides, and Kenny, just tell me what this does for the Clippers. Now you got Kawhi, who's 32, Paul George is 33, Westbrook's going to turn 35 in November, 34-year-old James Harden.
I think this is honestly the best situation for, if we're talking about James Harden individually first. It's the best situation because I've said throughout the summer, I think at this stage in his career, he's not a point guard anymore. He's a 2 guard. He would be better suited to spot up, come off screens instead of ISO at the top and pushing the pace. Russell Westbrook, even at 35, we've seen in the, even in these 3 games, he pushes the pace and he could play at a faster pace that I think Paul George and Kawhi would need to play at. So I think this is actually better suited to take him more off the ball, individually. Secondly, the Clippers were going to contend for an NBA championship if they're healthy without James Harden.
It's championship or bust. Another big name guy. The Clippers for the past 4 or 5 years have been very iffy. Kenny alluded to it. We don't know who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. But if they don't win the championship, it doesn't work. Yeah, they may win some games, they may upset some teams, but players of these calibers, especially guys like Russell and James, they would like to have that championship under their belt. On paper, it looks good, but I don't know which Harden is going to show up.
The Russell Westbrook, James Harden situation is interesting. Neither one can play without the ball. Now, Kenny had a great point. They were going to be contenders because of Kawhi and Paul George. Those are the 2 main guys if they can stay healthy. But I don't know who's going to play point guard. I don't know who's going to play off guard. So I don't know how the backcourt is going to work. But because of Paul and Kawhi, and Zubac, I love Zubac, they're going to be contenders.
Me leaving Brooklyn and thinking I'm going to retire as a Sixer, and the front office had other plans. They didn't want me, and it's that simple. So there's a lot of narratives. I don't have social media, but there's a lot of narratives and people talking and people think they have an opinion or a voice, and other people listen to it. But none of that is true. That last situation in Philly, those fans were really, really great. Teammates was great. Leaving Brooklyn, which was a funky situation, and going to Philly, leaving a lot of money on the table from Brooklyn, going to Philly. Once again, last summer, taking $26 million less to be able to sign and make the team better and the organization better. Changing my role, which media is, is ball dominant, which my ball dominance is really effective. But changing my role, trying to change the narrative, trying to sacrifice and do whatever it takes to win at the highest level. Like, whatever people talk about and say, I just want to win at the highest level. So taking less money, sacrificing the role, that's not talked about. It's talked about the other, BS. Philly is just, changing my role, knowing I can give more, knowing I can do more. But if you want to be honest, being on a leash. And me knowing in order for us to get where we want to get to, I was going to have to be playing my best offensively, whether it's facilitating and scoring the basketball, and Joel as well. When I'm in a leash, I'm not meant just shooting the basketball every time. I meant I think the game, and I'm a creator on the court. So if I got a voice to where I can, hey coach, I see this. What you think about this? Then it's okay. Somebody that trusts me, that believes in me, that understands me, that I'm just not I'm not a system player. I am a system. So somebody that can have that dialogue with me and understand and move forward and figure out and make adjustments on the fly throughout the course of games. That's all I really care about. It's not about me scoring the basketball, scoring 34 points. I've done it already. So I'm very elite and as an individual, and then I can, I can fit in with anybody and make a championship run work. So I think all of us are on the same page in the sense of the individual stats and all those things are, past us, and we all got one goal, and I think everybody knows what that is. So for me, it's just going out here and finding, the best way to contribute to this team.
And with James Harden on the court for the Los Angeles Clippers, the last 2 games, they are 0-2. Through 2 games, Harden's averaging 14.5 points on 55% shooting from the field, 44% shooting from three-point range, with 5.5 assists, 3.5 turnovers, and they're still winless with him. Yeah, you probably did it because you needed a safety net. You needed a security blanket in case Paul George or Kawhi Leonard inevitably get hurt, because that's what they do. Let me get an additional dude on the squad that can blow up and score points in bunches. I got it. I understand the thinking. But did you ever think about this, Los Angeles Clippers? How potentially detrimental it is to Russell Westbrook if you had brought James Harden on the squad, which you did. Ty Lue and I'm trying to explore starting all 4 of them. That shit ain't going to work. Don't even waste your time. It's not going to work. Egos are going to get in the way. I don't know about the Clippers.
Ask the producer to pipe this into the Clippers locker room so I can talk to you, James. I hope you're taking notes. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome for the wisdom I'm about to spew. Because, listen, I get on my knees every night and pray for someone to believe in me like Daryl Morey believed in you. You wanted a certain coach, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. You want to play a certain style, they played it. You wanted Dwight Howard, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. You wanted Chris Paul, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. They brought in your old friend Russell Westbrook. You want to go to Vegas on off days? They looked away. You wanted the team to stay over so you could go out at night. They changed the schedule, and it didn't work. And you know what? You said, I'm going to break up with my whoopee. Not good enough. I see the bright lights in New York. I want to go there. My old pal, Kevin Durant. It's going to work. The big 3. And all after 1 year, you wanted out. You realized, oh my gosh, I took this guy for granted, the guy that believed in me. I went back with Daryl Morey. They traded Ben Simmons for you. How did they pull that off? And you know what? You went there and you got a partner who got the MVP. He won the MVP. And what did you say afterwards? You said, they didn't hand me the reins. You're the point guard. You were holding the reins. And what did you do when you had the reins? You scored 9 points in Game 7 against Boston. You blew a 3-2 series lead. So they fired their coach. Not good enough. You broke up with your guy, believed in you again. You said, the bright lights of L.A., that's where I want to go. Let's see if that works. Listen, James, have you ever had those friends who had bad roommates? Over and over, they complained about their bad roommates. This guy's terrible. The bad roommate here. They never thought to be self-aware enough that they're the bad roommate. They're the problem. Hey, James, you're the problem. If this doesn't work this year in this system with this team, then you're going to go and point fingers at everybody else, and you're going to go back home and you're going to start swiping right for another team, and there's not going to be anybody left. Because, James, you're not the beard, you're not the system, you're the problem.